3, 2, 1. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Monroe Mann here, YouTube #1 live streamer. Should I put on my little cap here? Maybe I'll put on the cap. Should I put on the cap? Put on the visor? Maybe so. Maybe so. Anyway, hey guys, we are here for another edition of Rose Reads. This time for the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beep. What's up, Freeboat? Great to have you here. Good to have you here on your channelone. On my channel. On my channelone. I put on the visor and suddenly I'm talking like Kino Surf. So let's get started with the notes that I took from the book. How's the weather? It's getting hot and humid. Summer is arriving here and it's only April. So yeah, it's April 1st, April Fool's Day. It's super hot and it's summer even in April. All right, Freud said, one day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. So that's interesting. For those of you who are struggling, I count myself among those, struggling with dreams, struggling to make things come true, all that. Freud is saying, in retrospect, one day, all of those years of struggle are going to strike you as the most beautiful, meaning you're going to look back most fondly on your years of struggle rather than the years in which you are enjoying success. So that's an interesting perspective for you to consider. The author said some of the greatest moments of one's life are not pleasant, not successful, not known, and not positive. So it's interesting. If you look back on your life and you look back at the times in which you were struggling, sometimes he's saying maybe they're actually going to be moments that you remember the most fondly. So that's interesting. If you're struggling right now, congratulations. You can relish that struggle, knowing that you're going to look back in years to come and go, I remember those struggling days. I remember those good old days. Maybe not. He writes, good values. So the good values that we should have: reality-based, socially constructive, and immediate controllable. Examples: honesty are good values, innovation, vulnerability, standing up for yourself and others, self-respect, curiosity. For those of you who just joined us, my name is Monroe Mann. We're doing a Rose Reads, which is essentially a book review. This time of the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beep. And these are the notes that I've taken from the book. I'm sharing them with you, going to motivate you, inspire you. Claudio, I am from the United States. Nice to see you. Here are some bad values, like the bad values that you should not have: being superstitious, being socially destructive, things that are not immediate controllable. So example, bad values are popularity, dominance via manipulation, sleeping around, feeling good all the time, always being the center of attention, being liked by everyone, being rich for the sake of being rich. And so what he's basically saying is it's better to have values that are always controllable by you, such as honesty, innovation, vulnerability, self-respect, curiosity, charity, humility, creativity. Don't focus on values that fluctuate like the wind, because you're going to end up feeling miserable all the time if your values are things that fluctuate. Imes, hallo Bruder, du bist wirklich hübsch. Danke schön. Danke schön. Du bist sehr schön. Du bist auch sehr schön. My neuen Freund, my neue Freunde. And what he's saying is the good values that we get in life, they're all achieved internally. So bad values are reliant on some external event: flying in a private jet, owning a home in the Bahamas. So the question that I have for myself is, why do I then feel this insatiable need to recreate the lake house that my family and I once had in Maine? I sold this lake house with my mom's blessing in 2021. And ever since, it's just been a horrible depression from that. And beating myself up and being angry about the fact that I sold the house. But what this guy is saying, the author of The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beep, what's the name of the author? Mark Manson. Apparently, then I maybe have bad values. Because he's saying that a bad value is something that's reliant on an external event, like owning a home in the Bahamas, or it could be owning a home in Maine on a lake. So I have to ask myself, why do I have such bad values, and why are they causing me such emotional dissonance? I'm not perfect. I have a PhD in psychology, but that doesn't mean that I know how to control my emotions perfectly, like God. God can control his emotions perfectly. Humans are not God. So why does Monroe let me see here. What's up, Zenglitch? Imas, you're from Indonesia? Hello, Tensai. I'm from the United States. United States. I'm from New York and Maine, and now I live in Florida. So Dave Mustaine, he was a guitarist in Metallica, and so I'm good cat. I'm curious, but yeah, good cat says I disagree. There is nothing wrong with wanting something materialistic. But there is, if it's causing me such pain, or if it causes you such pain, why? Clearly your values are misplaced. I have everything that I should be happy about. I have a roof over my head. I have enough food to eat. My mom is still alive. I have a great bunch of supporters here on YouTube. I've got a great team of coders helping me with break diving. I have relatively good health. I should be happy, but I'm not. I'm miserable because of that loss of the lake house. Or at least I am throwing all of my misery on that excuse. Maybe it's just an excuse. Maybe I feel terrible and I'm saying it must be because I sold that house in Maine. Maybe the house in Maine has nothing to do with the way I feel. Maybe selling the house in Maine was exactly the right thing to do. I mean, that's the weird thing about psychology. Sometimes you think you know why you feel a certain way, sometimes, but you don't. We don't know why we feel a certain way. Don't be completely certain. How many times have you been certain, I know I locked the door. I know I locked the door, and you go back and you didn't lock the door. I know I lent you my keys. You're the one who took my keys. Oh, I just found my keys. Sorry for blaming you. Our mind is notoriously egotistically wrong. We are stubbornly wrong all the time. And so that's something to be aware of. You might think that you know why you feel a certain way. Maybe you are wrong. So Dave Mustaine, he got kicked out of Metallica. But then he started Megadeth and became a hugely successful musician. But he still, in interviews, says that he tears up when he talks about getting kicked out of Metallica. It says here, Dave Mustaine achieved great fame and glory and felt like a failure because he'd adopted a crappy value system based on some arbitrary comparison to the success of others. And so I have to constantly ask myself, maybe I feel so terrible about Maine because I'm focusing on the wrong things in life. Maybe I should not be focused on external validation. Forgive me, there's something in my eye, so I just keep rubbing it. Hey, Walal, how are you? Freeboat says that's when humility kicks in. And I'm trying, and it's like it's upsetting me. Am I not humble enough? And if I were more humble, would I feel better about this situation? Is it my lack of humility that's causing the problem? I don't know. Hi, Imas. I have not been to Indonesia. I'm hoping to go sometime. I have a lot of friends there. A lot of members of breakdiving live in Indonesia. Good Cat says you can also use this situation with the lake house as a new goal, turn that misery into motivation. Good Cat, I was talking about that the other day with my friend, Ava, as you know. Sometimes she's on here. And I'm saying, like, I could create another goal to have another lake house in Maine. But first of all, I mean, I would need to make I'd need to have like $600 to $1 million to get another lake house in Maine. That's the first thing. That's not easy to do. And number two, even if I did, it wouldn't be in the same lake community. So I wouldn't have the same memories. It's like, I think what drives me crazy is I don't think I could even recreate what I've lost. And that's what's painful. So, but I'm trying. Again, maybe I have as you said, turn misery into motivation. Walal says, YouTube has not sent me the notification. I decided to go on YouTube to see if you were live. Well, thank you. I'm glad you did. Walal says, what's something you accomplished today? I hired 2 new coders for breakdiving, and they're hard at work, which is really amazing. I'm so excited. I'm really learning the art of delegation, and breakdiving is just progressing at leaps and bounds at light speed now, which is fantastic. And discrepancy between emotions, yeah, I completely have that. I not only have a discrepancy between emotions, I don't understand where my emotions are coming from, and that's what I'm trying to figure it out. Trying to get to the bottom of it. Well, Al says, that's awesome. How was the Chinese class? I didn't have a Chinese class today. I had one yesterday, but it went well. I'm making good progress. Thank you very much. What's up, Fishing Kid? Welcome back. Good to have you here. By the way, it's a new month, everybody. So the first person who super chats will be the first person on the super board for the month of March. Excuse me, for the month of April. So here's your big chance to be number 1. Huzzah! Next, Pete Best. He was kicked out of the Beatles. But on the other hand, Pete Best felt like it was the best thing that ever happened to him. He said, Pete Best, despite the failure of being kicked out of the Beatles, grew into a happy, healthy old man with an easy life and a great family. Things that the 4 Beatles would spend decades struggling to achieve or maintain. So that's fascinating. Pete Best also got kicked out of a future very famous band, but he thought of it as a good thing. And it allows him to have an easy life with a great family, and he's grateful that he got kicked out of the Beatles. So my mission is how I can convert my perspective so that I look at the sale of the main house as Pete Best does by getting kicked out of the Beatles. Right now I'm looking at it as in the same way that Dave Mustaine is looking at getting kicked out of Metallica. And I have not yet figured out how to look on the bright side or how to find the silver lining in the cloud yet. It is still an incredible struggle for me. And yes, you're right, Good Cat. I could turn it into a goal of becoming so wealthy that I can buy an even better lake house up there. But 2 things, maybe I never get there. Maybe I never achieve that. Or B, I do achieve it, and then when it happens, I feel very empty because I no longer have a family. Maybe by that time my mom has passed away. Maybe I'm still married with no kids, and I go up, great, congratulations, I can afford the lake house. I bought a lake house in Maine, but I have no family to go there with. And it's like, sort of like an empty success, an empty accomplishment. And that's what scares me. Winners do it now. That's right, Walal. Mr. Goodcat says, what memories come to mind when you think about the lake house? I mean, it is a flood of memories. My entire childhood, going wakeboarding on the lake, learning how to water ski, learning how to slalom ski, going on the kayak on the lake, taking the kayak underneath the causeway, jumping off of the rocks. What else? Running on the dock and diving into the water. That cool, crisp ocean, a lake. Like it's unlike any lake I've ever been to. Hiking on Mount Sabatis, which was just 2 miles away from the house, and looking out at the mountains. What other great memories from there? Scuba diving in the lake every once in a while, playing tennis up at the tennis courts behind our house, playing shuffleboard, riding my bike all around the grounds of where the house was. What else? Going out on the boat with my mom and my friends, going sailing on the boat with my mom and my dad, my friends, my sisters, and going out in the canoe, fishing off of the canoe dock, fishing off of the main dock, going to the marina and having dinner there. And I mean, the memories go on and on and on. And I think that's what's terrible, is that I can't get any of them back. Like, I can't do any of those things again. Ugh. The other thing is that it was such a evidence of success. Like, everybody in that community was very wealthy. We were probably the poorest people who lived there. And my dad died, and it was becoming very stressful to keep the house there. And I don't make as much as my dad. So, I mean, it's not only losing all those memories of my childhood and growing up, but it's also losing this, like, people struggled for decades so that they can buy a vacation home on a lake. I had that and I sold it. And I always think maybe it's because I wasn't the one who achieved it. And so I wanted to sell it so that I could then become a success and then buy another one again. But I realized that was a foolish thing. I should have kept it and become a success and bought another lake house and had 2 of them. I mean, it was a really dumb move. It was an amateur move by someone who didn't understand finance well enough, who didn't understand cash out mortgages well enough. And I think I just got overwhelmed by the situation. My dad dying, and me taking care of my mom and this and that. And you can tell Steve, I'm kind of tearing up. It's a tough thing, guys. And, but I also think maybe I have bad values. I have to reframe it. Otherwise it's going to eat at me for the rest of my life. Freeboat says, that's the journey of life. You have gains and losses. Yeah, it's a crappy journey, because I feel like my whole life I've just had more losses than gains. And I hate that feeling. I hate the feeling that it's been just loss after loss after loss. I've accomplished a lot, but I don't feel I've gained anything. I've accomplished things, but I haven't gained. I haven't succeeded. Gutcut says, so it's the family memories and nostalgia you miss. It's like that if you owned it today and went there. Yeah, it wouldn't feel the same. You know, you're right, because, Freeboat, these tears, you know what I'm talking about. I miss my dad. I do miss my sisters. I don't talk to them anymore. It's like they're dead. It's like my dad's dead. My sisters are dead. Childhood memories are dead. And my mom is not doing well. Yeah. Your comment really hit me, and you're right. Honestly, there were times when we did own it that last year, when I would go up there. When I would go up there and I would cry. And I think because I remembered so much all of the great memories we had when we were younger there, and all the memories, all the things I did in the house. And those memories are gone. Like, you're right. I was there. I was there in the house. And I was not happy anymore. Because you hit it on the head. I can't believe, like, you brought tears to my eyes. No need to feel bad. I'm glad you did, because you're helping me to figure this out. I mean, I go to psychologists about it, and they can't even get me like emotional like this, just like you did, good cat. You know what it is? Because you know me better. Yeah. I don't know what I miss, but I think you hit it on the head. I think I just miss the nostalgia. I miss the memories. I miss having a big family. I used to have a huge family, such a big family, and now it's me and my mom is distant now. Oh, it's very sad. Freeboat says life is rough, but memories make it tolerable. But I don't even know. Like, memories are painful, man. Memories make like, look at this. Memories are putting tears in my eyes. It's like I almost wish I had no memories of. You remember that? Remember that movie, The Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind? I mean, maybe I should watch that again with Jim Carrey. I mean, some of these memories are just horrible because they're gone. Let's see. Well, also, I was looking at the breakdiving channel. It said you have an upcoming live with Malak. Yeah, I'm hoping. I don't know. She didn't confirm. She lives in China. I don't know if she's going to remember to come. But if you guys want, there's an interview with a breakdiving member, Malak Masaba, tomorrow at 8 a.m. I hope. It's midnight. I should get to bed because I have to get up early for that. No, Malak is from Jordan in the Middle East. What's up, Chase? Walal says your invest. Yeah, Walal, I think that's another thing too. Like when my dad was alive, he made so much money. Like, he gave me such an amazing childhood financially. And he wasn't the greatest dad, like emotionally, he was super distant. But he was a good dad, and he gave me all these great memories. And it's just like, I suck at making money compared to him. I mean, on the other hand, my dad didn't care about people like I do. My dad didn't make any not-for-profits. I've got like 4 not-for-profits. I'm doing my best to help people with life. He spent his days like 9 a.m. To 8 p.m. at the office, and he'd work on Saturdays and some Sundays too. And I'm just very different from him. But it pisses me off, and it makes me so sad that I cannot produce at the level that he did. Who would have thought that they're talking about this book by Mark Manson and talking with you guys would get me this so emotional again? But guys, life is not easy. People that tell you that life is easy are not trying. They're either dumb and stupid, ignorance is bliss, as they say, or they are just coasting through life without even trying. Because the people that actually try and this and that, this is the face of someone who's really trying. This is the face of someone who cares about people and it cares about their dreams. A guy with tears in his eyes. And I appreciate all you guys watching too, because you guys are our best therapy. You guys are doing much better for me than psychiatrists and psychologists have done. You know what it is? Because I feel more comfortable talking to you. Let me go to the next quotation from The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Bleep by Mark Manson. Often, the only difference between a problem being painful or being powerful is the sense that we chose it and that we are responsible for it. If you're miserable now, chances are it's because you feel like some part of it is out of your control. That there's a problem that you have no ability to solve. A problem that was somehow thrust upon you without your choosing. And guys, let me tell you, that's how I feel about this thing with Maine. And I'm mad at my dad too. Because he made so much money, but he did such a terrible job of preparing his wife and his son for keeping the same standard of living after he dies. If you have a family, whether you're a father or a mother or you're a son or daughter, you better make sure the parents have life insurance or has so many investments that there's no problem. My dad had Alzheimer's, and he ended up getting into financial difficulty in his last few years without me or my mom knowing. So when he died, all of these financial problems came to light, and I had to bail out my mom, and I'm still doing it. And if my dad had planned better, I would not, for these last 7 years, been in a financial blank storm, trying to care for my mom and keep her standard of living to some level of what it was, and trying to keep my own life together. Like, I should not be in this situation right now. It makes me so angry that he was such a brilliant attorney and he made so much money, but he didn't get life insurance and he didn't plan for his wife living for another, that's the thing. My dad was 30, how many years? Let me see. It's like 30 years older than my mom. 30 years older. And I feel, I'm going to read that quote again. The only difference between a problem being painful or being powerful is the sense that we chose it and that we're responsible for it. If you're miserable now, chances are it's because you feel like some part of it's out of your control. That there's a problem you have no ability to solve, a problem that was somehow thrust upon you without your choosing. If the financial situation were better 7 years ago, I wouldn't even have to have sold it. But my dad left us in such a financial problem that we had to sell it. But I'm also embarrassed that I did not make as much money as my dad did. I still don't. So I couldn't continue the same standard of living for my mom and the family. And it is a horrible feeling to feel that you can't provide for your mom when she can't provide for herself. And I mean, so it's a confluence of a whole bunch of things. But it is an accurate thing. I do feel like some part of this is out of my control. Like, I work my ass off with my YouTube channel. I work my ass off with my businesses. I work my ass off with legal clients. I work my ass off, and yet I'm still not at the level that my dad was. And I asked my dad, I worked at my dad's law office for a while. And I said, Dad, I want to take over the law firm because it's man and man. And I want to be one of those mans. I want it to be man, man, and man eventually. And please teach me how to do everything that you do. He couldn't teach one thing. I talked about this yesterday. I call people like him clueless geniuses. He was amazing at what he did, but he had no idea what he was doing. And he had no idea how he was doing what he was doing. And when I would ask him, I'd say, Dad, how do you get new clients? How do you get so many clients? How are you such a rainmaker? He goes like this. I don't know. And I laugh when I think about my dad. He was so aloof. I have no idea how he did it. He had no idea how he did it. But people came to him. He had to turn away clients. He was such a good attorney that he made multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars per year. I do not make multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And it's hard. It's hard to be in the shadow of a famous parent. My dad wasn't famous in the movie star sense, but he was famous as an attorney in Westchester. In New York, in Westchester County, if I go back there and I go, hi, my name's Monroe Mann, 9 out of 10 times, are you Monroe Mann, son? Are you Monroe Mann, son? Hey, are you the son of that attorney? Are you? Oh, it's you. I thought it was your father. I was always in the shadow of him. I don't mind it. But it's annoying being in the shadow of someone when your shadow is so much smaller than his. And maybe you have kids, maybe you're in the shadow of your parents now or this, that, but it's a tough thing. And it's especially when you're in the shadow of them financially and you haven't figured out how to be a financial rock star like your parents or your father. I'm proud of what I've done. I've done okay, but not enough for me to still solve the problem with my mom. All right, let's keep going. Let's read another one. William James once conducted an experiment. He would spend 1 year believing that he was 100% responsible for everything that occurred in his life, no matter what. It was 100% up to him how his life turned out. He went on to become the father of psychology. So that's fascinating. And no, I do believe that in a way. I believe that I'm 100% responsible. But it's a terrible feeling when you feel like you're 100% responsible, but you don't have the capability of solving the problem. It is a terrible thing, and it's called learned helplessness. It is a horrible thing to feel like, okay, I'm 100% responsible. I'm going to do everything I can to solve the problem, but deep in my heart, nothing I do is going to solve the problem. That is a psychological minefield. Minefield. Let me read more comments. Freeboat, fall down 50 times and get up 51. That's it. That's what I'm doing. I'm falling down and I keep getting up. Guys, I might cry. I might complain. I might be pissed off. I might get depressed. But there's one thing Monroe Mann doesn't do. He does not quit. And he does not give up. And I am solving problems every single day. And you guys know I get pissed off about YouTube a lot of times. Why aren't they sending me people this and that? Look at today. I got a good crowd today. About 11 people watching, 14 likes. So I just keep going. I keep going. Freeboat says, I'm sorry you're not alone. Thank you so much, my friend. Walal says, life is hard. I totally understand. I lost my dad when I was months old and I don't talk to my sisters. Wow. Walal, you and I live the exact same life right now. Lost dad and don't talk to sisters. And it's just absolutely horrible. Walal says, same here. I used to have big family reunions, Walal picnics. Yeah, and it makes me sad because I thought by now I'd be married. I thought I'd have kids. So I thought I would have my own family to make up for the diminished, but it's not. And it scares the crap out of me that all I have left is my mom, and who knows how much longer she'll be here, and then I'll be completely alone. And it freaks me out because I don't have success with girls. I can't get along with them. They drive me absolutely crazy. And I'm thinking, my gosh, what if I never find a wife? What if I never have kids? And when my mom's gone, it's literally I'm just by myself. It's a scary thought. Freeboat says, memories are the only thing that have prevented me from getting high again, from harming myself. Memories are the only thing that keeps me going. That's good, Freeboat. I'm glad. I mean, we need anything. We need anything that gives us hope, that gives us some sense of hope, happiness, a smile, anything that can put a smile on our face. I'm going to try it. Put a fake smile on my face. Hey, guys. I'm so happy right now. Yeah. Yeah. Solomon says same. How you doing, Solomon Green? A1 steak, Trump rug, pulling his own meme coin, and then crashing a stock market with Travers. Love you, Monroe. Thanks, Freeboat. Love you too. Solomon says, even though I think my dad hates me, even though he loves me in general ways. Good cat. It's hard for you to see from your perspective, but all these struggles and experiences Keep making me cry, good cat. Have made an amazing person. Gotta cover myself up. Thanks, good cat. I appreciate that. My life is so damn tough. Just so tough. But I hope I'm inspiring you guys to know that we all have difficult. Life is not easy. Even if you believe in God, and I do, it is not easy. God, please help us. Got 9 people on this live stream who feel like me, who are doing our best, who've lost loved ones, struggling with family problems, struggling to make ends meet, to feel like we're worthy, that we're important, that all our efforts amount to something. I know how you feel. And you're not alone. I feel alone a lot of the times. I'm sure many of you do too. And maybe a lot of you guys don't express it as much. Maybe I'm helping you express it. And I'm glad I'm crying now because maybe I don't do it enough. I think the last time I cried like this was also on the live stream. Like, it's weird. I don't cry by myself. And I don't know what it is about. Maybe it's because the community that we create on this on the YouTube live, and you guys share your beautiful stories with me. And you have great advice for me. And you also remind me that I'm not the only one struggling. And I remind you that you're not the only one struggling. Like, Walal, I didn't know that you lost your dad, and you don't talk to your sisters either. And Solomon and Freeboat didn't know that you guys are feeling that bad too. And the memories are what keep you. We're in this together. This crazy thing called life. I haven't figured it out. I don't know why we're here. I have zero understanding of why God has created me. And when I say me, I mean me as an individual person. I know why God created me. It's to do stuff like this, to motivate people, to inspire people. It's why I've been spending 26 years on my company Breakdiving. And it's so difficult to get anybody to join, because I believe it's what God has made me to do, is to inspire people, motivate people. But in general, like, why did God create humans? I don't know. I have no idea. I know why God created dogs. That's to inspire us, to make us happy. I think I know why God created YouTube, so that I could meet you guys, all of you awesome people. You guys have been so wonderful with me tonight. And I really appreciate it. I appreciate your support, and I hope I give you some support in return. Walal says, what degrees did your dad have? He also had a PhD in public policy. He had a law degree as well. He had a master's in German literature. He had a bunch of things too. It's weird. In many ways, I followed in his footsteps like that. Good Cat says, you have this never give up attitude that's rare, and you use it to inspire others. If nothing else, I do that. I'm good at never giving up. Never giving up is painful, guys. It is horrible. It's one of the hardest things I've ever done. Like, giving up is easy. Not giving up is so hard. And I mean in everything in life. It is so hard. Do not think that giving up is the hard thing to do. If you give up, you are a coward. Giving up is easy. If you've got a dream and you give up, it's so easy. I always say giving up is easy. You can wait, so why don't you wait until tomorrow to do it? The amount of determination and patience and persistence I have, it drives me up the wall. I hate the persistence. I hate my persistence because my life would be so easy if I had no ambition, if I just gave up on my dreams. I wish I could give up on being a YouTuber. I wish I could give up on breakdiving. I wish I could give up on being a best-selling author again. I wish I could give up on helping my mom like my sisters did. They just abandoned her. They abandoned my dad too when he had Alzheimer's. Just left them. Left my dad. Just left for me and my mom to care for my dad in his last years. And they've abandoned my mom and me. It is so easy to give up and be selfish and go do, but you know what? I feel you owe it to society to push forward with your dreams, because if you guys are inspired by me, imagine how many other people will be inspired by you if you pursue your dreams and don't give up either. It's not easy. It sucks. It sucks. I hate that I can't give up on my dreams. But you're right, good cat. It's what's allowing me to inspire other people, because I think a lot of I'm not afraid to show you the emotion behind making dreams come true. I can't guarantee that breakdiving is going to succeed. I can't guarantee that my YouTube channel is eventually going to make me $5,000 a month. I can't guarantee that I'll be alive tomorrow. I can't guarantee anything, but I just, like I always say, number one, I'd like to succeed. Number two, second best, I'd like to die trying. I don't want it to say on my tombstone, he died trying to make breakdiving and his YouTube channel a success. I'd like it to say Monroe died as the founder of this incredible global community breakdiving and a hugely famous YouTuber. He also died trying, doing a heck of a lot more. But all of us should strive to die trying. All of us should strive to never give up. And you know, I was on LinkedIn because I'm trying to recruit more people to breakdiving, and it's about productivity and making dreams come true. And most of the people that were recommended to me were people that were also in Miami-Dade College and in other universities, I guess because I'm in Miami-Dade College and I have some connections there. But I would find some folks who were older, and I realized, you know what? I want to invite a bunch of these older people to breakdiving too. Why? Because they may need motivation even more than the young folk to continue with their dreams. Because the older that you get, the less ambition you have. The older you get, the more society encourages you to believe that you're close to dying. So what's the point in trying to do anything further? Don't let yourself get into that mentality. It's not good. There was a woman I just saw in the news. She's 109 years old. And whenever she goes to the airport, they keep trying to say, you have to prove to me that you're really 109 years old. Why am I telling this story? If you know someone who's 90 years old, that person could still be alive for another 19 years. Most people, if they're 70, they're already thinking about death. If you're 70, you could live to be 80, 90, 100, 110. Another 40 years. Which is almost as long as I've been alive. I'm 47. Let's look at some more comments. Mark says, life has been excruciating hard for me too. Mark, we're in this together, guys. We're in this together. I know that you're struggling too with your situation with your wife and her visa, and I'm sure many other things. Good Cat says that's your greatest quality, in my opinion. I agree too. I think I don't know what it is. I don't give up. I don't know why I don't give up. I don't know why I'm patient. I don't know why I'm stubborn. And I don't know why I keep going after my dreams, even though I have every reason to give up. Someone just went live on YouTube who I follow. He just went live. I went live, and then 1 minute later, I got a notification. And the title of his stream was, "I've decided to quit YouTube." And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, you're going to quit YouTube? But it happens all the time. I can't tell you how many people on these live streams that I've had where people were doing live streams. They're not doing live streams anymore because they quit. Because it's hard. Life is hard. It's incredibly difficult. And I know on my live streams here, and it's a broken record. I talk about all these things I'm depressed about, it's hard for me caring for my mom. I'm depressed about selling the house in Maine. I don't like living in Miami Beach. I'm confused about my future, blah, blah. But you can count on it 100%. I'm not going to give up trying to find a solution to those problems. I'm not just blindly complaining. I'm complaining because I'm trying to find solutions, and I will never give up until I find a solution or I'm going to die. One of the two. Mark said I got destroyed by the Obama economy and divorce. I'm sorry about your divorce, Mark. Divorce, and I'm realizing parents dying can change your lives dramatically. And Freeboat, I know you just lost a parent recently. The ramifications of that, you may not even feel them, some of them, for the next 5, 6, 7 years. My dad died 7 years ago. I'm still feeling the ramifications, some positive, some negative, of that. What's up, Elijah? Elijah was the one that posted on his thing, "I'm quitting YouTube." Elijah, what the heck? If you're still here, I hope that was just a clickbait title, because no quitting on my watch, baby. Well, Lal says, why did you stop talking to your sisters? They both got married. They used to be my best friends. They both got married, and I started to realize that they no longer really wanted to hang out with me. And they would hang out with me, but I had to really set things up. I went to China in 2014 to teach English there. And I decided, you know what? Let me see, because I wanted to see if they were even going to come visit me. And I said to myself, I'm going to stop writing to them. And I want to see if I ever hear from them again. When was 2014? 2014, 2024. So 11 years ago. I didn't hear from either of them since I just stopped writing to them. Nothing. Nada. A1 Steak. Mark Bishop, Trump just taxed pharmaceuticals, Trump's economy, okay, blah, blah. I don't think it'll be the case. Yeah, I don't, trust me, this economy will be much better than Obama's or Biden's. I'm very confident about that. What's up, River Cities? No, I'm not, I don't have a formal job right now. And my resume works to my disadvantage. It would be easier for me if I didn't have the credentials that I had. Dustin, hope you're not doing good. I hope you're doing well. Brad says your dad could have at least pointed you in the right direction, or the other partner vouched for you while I was around. My dad did something similar, but through narcissism. Yeah, my dad just did it, I think, through complete cluelessness. Like, he was a clueless genius. Like, he was smart, but he was also very, very stupid. And I have this quotation that I came up with. Those who can do, those who can't teach, and those who can and can teach do both. My dad was in the first situation, those who can do. I'm in that other situation. Those who can and can teach do both. But he didn't have an ability to teach, and teaching really is an art. Some people just don't know how to teach what they do because they don't know what they're doing. And that's why I always say, if you want to learn how to succeed, it's better to talk to somebody who's failed. I am a better coach than most people on how to start a business because I've started so many failed businesses that I know what not to do. Where someone who just started a business and succeeded has no idea what not to do because they succeeded the very first time, and they don't know if the reason they succeeded was just luck or was it through something that they actually did. In many cases, it's luck, but they attribute it to their hard work or whatever, but they have no idea. They have no idea. In my situation, like if break diving succeeds, if my YouTube channel succeeds, guys, you know why it's going to happen. Sheer persistence. This guy just never gave up. He just did it. He did it for 20 plus years. And eventually, finally, it took off. Mark says, life still happens to people who do all the right things. Yeah, and that's kind of how I feel. I feel like I am that person who's done everything right, and it just hasn't worked out. And this could be the year. Maybe I've been in Act 1 and I'm in at the Act 2 low point, and now maybe Act 3 of my life is about to take off, and it's going to be an amazing, exhilarating, action-packed Act 3. I have to stay positive and try to think that that's going to be the case. And same thing, Mark. Same thing you, Debe teacher, all of you guys. Good morning, Debe. And yeah, Brad, I do believe it's a parent's job to pass the torch successfully. My dad did a terrible job. He didn't. If my mom and I can end up having a really great life again, it's only because of my stubbornness, persistence, and never give up attitude. Because my dad left us in a lurch, and I'm still trying to get us out of it. Let's see. Dustin lost my dad also. I blame myself for that the longest time. My mom is nearly 70 at this point. Dustin, I'm with you. We're all with you. And what's crazy is for every single one of us, we're going to lose our mom. We're going to lose our dad. Some of us, we're going to lose a son or a daughter. Some of us will never have a son or a daughter. I mean, life is the most confusing thing I've ever experienced in my life. That's funny. Life is the most confusing thing I've ever experienced in my life. I want to write that down. I got to get excuse me, I'm going to write down my funny quote. Life, here, just so you can see what I mean. Life is the most confusing thing I've ever experienced in my life. Monroe Mann. And you see, this is why I should be a medical doctor, because you can't read anything that I write. I'm one crazy cat. And good night, Freeboat. Just think about it logically. You're wrong. I respect your opinion. Debe says, don't cry. Thank you, Debe. Thanks, River Cities, for your kind words. Dustin, you're right. Sometimes a good cry is what is necessary, and I appreciate you guys. I think I cried 3 times on this live stream so far. And Dustin says, I'm crying with you thinking about my dad. Now you're making me want to cry again. We're having a cry fest. Maybe we should have a monthly cry fest with Monroe Mann. Mark says, we're literally our Heavenly Father's children. He wants us to be like him someday. We can't be complete without trials. Thank you, Mark. Solomon says, they say a father who fails to prepare his family for his death has unfortunately failed as a father. Do better than the previous generation in your father's legacy. And you know what's funny? I don't have kids. Maybe I never will. I don't know. I hope so. But in lieu of them, you guys are my kids. And so I'm trying to share my lesson, everything that I've learned in my life with you guys here on YouTube. So if you're a father, mother, get life insurance. Teach your kid how to do what you do. Don't let them go out and teach them the silly, stupid things that you don't think that they need to learn how to learn. My dad didn't teach me my dad didn't say, Monroe, let's open a bank account. Monroe, let me teach you how to write checks. Monroe, let me teach you how to manage money. Let me teach you. He taught me nothing like that. And I found out only after like he died or when I got older that like when my dad took me fishing, it was because my mom forced him to. When my dad it was never him. Hey, Monroe, do you want to go fishing? Hey, Monroe, do you want to go on like he never took me on a camping trip. We never went to the movies. So, I mean, a lot of the ways that I treat people is because I want to treat them in a better way than my dad treated me. Though some people might say that I'm still cold and distant. I don't know how to get emotionally close to people. I think it's why I don't have a girlfriend. Anyone who tries to get too close for me, it kind of freaks me out. Let's go back to the notes here, and then we'll look at some more comments. We can never control what happens to us, but we can control how we interpret what happens to us, as well as how we respond. And that's what I'm trying to do. That's what we're trying to do on this live stream here. All of us are crying. All of us are getting emotional. Maybe we can't control what happened to us, but we can try to reinterpret how it makes us feel and reinterpret what it means, reinterpret the way we perceive it, maybe be more gentle with us. When I think about the thing with the lake house in Maine, I made the best decision I could at the time. It kills me now. And as Good Cat pointed out, maybe if I were there again, maybe I wouldn't have the same feeling. Maybe I would have ended up selling it a year later. Or maybe I would end up selling it this year if I had kept it. I don't know. But I hope none of you ever do something that makes you feel so terrible. Because I don't want any of you guys to feel this way. It's a terrible, terrible feeling. Brad says, struggle makes you more capable. 2 years sober, haven't been homeless in a decade, 6 figures and a homeowner. Use that struggle to make the world a better place. Hey, Brad, kudos to you for overcoming your struggle and getting to 6 figures. I'm hoping 1 year I will make 6 figures. That's one of my goals. And I'm trying to make the world a better place through this YouTube channel, through the Breakdiving YouTube channel, and through breakdiving. I encourage any of you, if you like my perspective on life, come to breakdiving.io. Maybe Good Cat, if you're still here, you can throw it in the chat. Breakdiving.io. It's a community of people trying to help one another become more productive in life and get through this crazy thing called life. Mark says, we're in the second act of a third act play. The trial of our faith is that we don't remember the first act, nor do we know the third and final act. Huzzah, Mark. God bless you. I agree with that. Hi, Peyton. Dustin says, I'm going to have to look up breakdiving. See? Well, I hope you will. We're releasing our mobile app in about 2 weeks. Really excited about that. Solomon Green, Law of Attraction, and through manifestation, speaking the goals and desires within your heart aloud. To be hardened, the residents will increase the chance of them becoming real. Well, hey, guys, I'm telling you right now, let's make my YouTube channel a huge success. Let's make the Breakdiving channel a huge success. Let's make breakdiving.io. And in 2 weeks, when the mobile app comes out, let's make that a huge success. Dustin loves swimming. Me too. You don't look a day over 46. Thanks. I'm 47. Thanks, Steve. Life is absolutely fair because it's unfair to everyone. Ooh, Solomon, you got to remember that quotation. That's a very good one. Life is absolutely fair because it's unfair to everyone. Stay strong and humble in the face of adversity. Sometimes the only way out is quite literally straight through. Solomon, I'm going to screenshot that because I want to remember that. Very well said. Good Cat says, I think as men, we sometimes forget that we're not alone. Nothing hurts more than feeling like you aren't enough for your family. That lake house started a great conversation for all of us tonight. Well, I hope the lake house You know what sucks is that lake house, someone else owns it right now. Another family owns that lake house. Ugh. But I'm glad it started a conversation. One more good memory, says Good Cat. Dustin says, you're not far from me in Louisiana. I go camping in Florida, things like that. Hey, Dustin, maybe one of these days we'll meet. You never know. You never know. 11 years, you think that overall made you depressed? I think so. Well, all, of course. I mean, I if they reached out to me, I'd probably talk to them, but I'm never going to talk to them again. I'm so angry at them with how they treated my dad, how they treated me, how they've treated my mom. It's like they have a lot of atonement if they really want to get back in my life. I'm 100% overqualified for absolutely everything, which is why I really hope breakdiving takes off. I'm like, I need to be the CEO of my own company. I don't work well working at other people's companies. I'm way above that, and I have way too much to offer. I need to. So 2025 is the year. I'm gonna make that happen. Walal says your death is written somewhere and you don't know when it happens. 100%. Miriam says, thank you, family liberation in Jesus. God bless you, Miriam. What's up, Sergeant Kayla? Great to have you here. Walal crashed car in the January, so I'm glad you survived. Absolutely. The car got totaled, but you ended up here on the live stream. Dustin, met my dad when I was 20 years old. He died 2 or 3 years later. We had 5 heart attacks, ended up in a nursing home for years, and he lost his ability to speak and all that. I'm sorry to hear that. That's very difficult too, Dustin. Thanks, Mr. Good Cat, for sharing the link, breakdiving.io. By the way, Good Cat, I'm still waiting for you to join the breakdiving community. The mobile app's coming out in 2 weeks. I think it's going to really start to amplify things, so I maybe need your help as moderator. Hi, Peyton. A1 says, buy more Trump coin and Trump will be richer. The way out is the way through, says Dustin. Well, all says, did they have degrees? Oh, I'm far more accomplished than either of them. They are completely different from me. They're both also very different politically than me as well. I think that caused a rift as well. So, all right, let me read a few more. I want to read a few more of these notes that I took from the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Beep. So we end on a high note, a confident note, positive note. Choosing to not respond to the events in our lives is still a response to the events in our lives. So choosing to be lazy is also a choice. So ignoring a situation is not a solution. It is a decision, but it's not a solution. Mr. Goodcat says maybe. No, well, one of my sisters is a lawyer. The other, I think, works at a book publishing company or something like that. But they both have college degrees. Immense support and accountability stream once a week, says Mr. Goodcat. You know, maybe that's not a bad idea. Goodcat, you got to come up with a name for it. Maybe we'll call it the Man's Man. MANN''S man, the Man's Man. That's actually that's a good title, the Man's Man. Yeah, I think it's pathetic. Walal, you seem like a good go. If you ever go to Miami, definitely hang out with you. Thank you, Walal. You seem like a good guy to be around. I don't want people to look at you differently. Peyton, Monroe, I think your channel will be a huge success. You have more than double your subscriber count in the time frame I've been subbed to you. Thanks, Peyton. I appreciate that. I think the word you used is sticks. What word? Stim? I have no idea what you're talking about. Well, you're making 0 sense right now. Quote, again from Spider-Man, with great responsibility comes great power. Oh, no, it's the other way around, because the original one is with great power comes great responsibility. He says with great responsibility comes great power. The more we choose to accept responsibility in our lives, the more power we will exercise over our lives. Again, the more we choose to accept responsibility in our lives, the more power we will exercise over our lives. What's up, Sergeant Kayla? You missed me crying 3 times on the live stream. 3 times. You can watch it later and either start crying along with me or be inspired. All right, here's another note from the book. A lot of people hesitate to take responsibility for their problems because they believe that to be responsible for your problems is also to be at fault for your problems. But they're not the same thing. Fault is past tense. Responsibility is present tense. And that's pretty brilliant, guys, because it says, maybe it was my fault that my mom and I sold the house in Maine. Maybe it was my dad's fault that we're in this situation now. But responsibility is on whom now? Me. It's my responsibility to solve these problems in my life. It's my responsibility to solve my mom's problems now because she can't solve them for herself. So I am going to solve those problems. I take responsibility for my life. Let me see. Yeah, A1 Steak, 1.9 thousand. Yeah, the number of subscribers I get, it's becoming harder and harder to get subs. I used to get like 400 subs in a month. Now if I get 100 subs in a month, that's considered a good month for me. Let me look at and see how many subs. We were at 30, let me see. We were at 5,535 before I started the live stream. Now we're at 5,536. I got 1 new subscriber because of this live stream. 5. Crazy. Just 5. I mean, just 1 new subscriber. I mean, it's very tough. Like, I don't think YouTube sends a lot of new people. If you notice, almost 99% of the people in the live stream are people who are subscribers or regular viewers. Been having a lot of difficulty getting growth. So, Peyton, the channel, unless something changes, it's not going to, I don't think I'm going to be at, I don't even know when I'll get to 6,000. We could potentially be like August, and I still haven't reached 6,000 subscribers because the algorithm is very funky these days. The word was stymie. Yeah, stymie. That's a good word. Red Wave in Florida, Mr. Goodkurt. Okay. Did she find her passport? The 5K Doge check would solve some problems, says A1 Steak. What's up? What's up, Eater? What am I doing? I'm talking here on live stream. Dustin, thank you. I'm glad you're taking what I'm saying to heart. A1's going to get my sister to subscribe. Appreciate that. Peyton says, I believe in you, dude, as long as you believe. But why should people sub? Because I'm awesome. I'm YouTube's #1 live streamer. Comedy, music, improv, psychology, law. And every once in a while, you get to see me crying on live stream. How do you like that? Next one. We're going to go for a few more. No one else is responsible for your situation but you. Many people may be to blame for your unhappiness, but nobody's ever responsible for your unhappiness but you. Because you always get to choose how you see things, how you react to things, and how you value things. And that's true. If you're unhappy, it's because your thoughts are making you unhappy. Next, when a girl dumps you and you feel crappy, she is to blame for how you feel, but she is not responsible for how you feel. No matter what she did, and no matter how terrible a person she is, after she makes you feel terrible, it becomes your responsibility to make yourself happy again. And again, these are notes that I took from the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving Up, by Monroe Mann. Moving on, taking responsibility for our problems is where the real learning comes from. Taking responsibility. By the way, we have 22 likes, guys. Don't know where they came from, but we've got the gold medal on the YouTube live stream Olympics. Not bad. Not bad, ladies and gentlemen. Next one, which is related. We all get dealt cards. Some get better cards than others. The real game lies in the choices we make with those cards. I'll say it again. We all get dealt cards. Some get better cards than others. The real game lies in the choices we make with those cards. In other words, you've heard it before, you've got to play with the cards that you're dealt. It doesn't mean you still can't win. Maybe you lose that round. But if you keep playing the game, you could eventually take all the money from all the players on the table. And that's how I'm operating. I maybe have not gotten the best hand of cards the last 7 years, but even the last 20 years, I haven't had the best hand of cards. Look at Mark Zuckerberg. In college, he starts Facebook, becomes a billionaire like at 22 years old. Well, I'm 47. I'm still trying to make $100,000 a year. I got a different set of cards than Mark Zuckerberg. But the truth is, I think I think when I do succeed, I have a far more interesting story than Zuckerberg. Next, we actually don't know what a positive or negative experience is. Sometimes what hurts in the moment ends up being the most formative, motivating, and gratifying memories. Very interesting. Good Cat says that's so true. Some of the quotations I was sharing. Thank you for liking, Dookie. Dustin, I lost a good girl. Well, she left me. It's okay. I'm over it now. And that's going to happen to all of us. That's going to happen to all of us at some point. Your guy or girl is going to leave you, either because of breakup or divorce, or that person's going to die before you. The only way you avoid that is if you die first. And that's cheating. Good Cat. I think a lot of people jump into relationships expecting the other person to make them happy. This is an unrealistic expectation to put on someone else. Yeah, and I think that's why I'm not in a relationship. I'm not doing it to get happiness out of them. Also, a lot of people, like I find like a lot of girls that liked me, they liked me because of things that they wanted me to become or things they wanted to get from me. And in both situations, I don't want to be with somebody like that. I don't want to be with somebody like that. Well, lol, do you know anything about Gantt charts? Yeah, I do know a little bit about Gantt charts. I did them in my statistics classes and in my MBA. I haven't done any Gantt charts recently. Dookie, if you kill the players at the table, well, in that case, you're going to go to prison. What's up, Debe? Sergeant Kaylee, I'm going to call it a night. Yeah, I'm going to call it a night shortly, too. I'm a little bit tired. Gold Diggers. What's up, Angel? Great to see you. Long time no see. Nelson Duenas, you came in at the last minute. The topic, it was emotional. It was crazy. We had ups. We had downs. We had crying. Everybody in the live stream, everybody was crying. Thinking about people we lost, people who hurt us. Oh, man. Thinking about life and its trials and tribulations. Let me give you one more motivational note that I took from the book. Uncertainty is the root of all progress and all growth. The more we admit we do not know, the more opportunities we gain to learn. I tell you this, I've got uncertainty up to here. So uncertain. Let me do this. Is this, let's do what I did before was part 4. Let's go to part 5. Okay, start here, part 5. Okay. So, you should just make a meme coin and then pull the rug out. You know what? That's what I'm thinking. If 2025 doesn't work out for me the way I think it is, I'm just gonna make a meme coin. I'm gonna sell it to all of you guys, and then I'm gonna cut and make millions at your expense. Easy money. Facts. What's up, Sergeant Kayla? Debe Teacher, 1023 India. Good morning, Debe in India. Dustin, good night, brother. Hope we'll all wake up tomorrow. Not hopefully we'll all wake up tomorrow. Let's hope we wake up tomorrow and our lives turn for the better like we've never before experienced. I want our Act 3, which starts tomorrow, to blow Act 1 and Act 2 out of the water. So say it right now, guys. Tomorrow starts the beginning of Act 3 in my life. And it's going to be awesome. Good Cat says, I just realized that the break diving streams are that picture on the wall back there. Yeah, there's the break diving photo. When we do the, by the way, we're at 1,730 hours. We got to pick up the watch time or we're not going to get monetized in the 1 year time frame. So all of you guys come join the break diving YouTube channel and please watch the study halls. Even if you watch them on replay, go to break diving channel, click on live, and then watch some of those lives. Give us watch time, give us watch time. That's right. Good Cat says that's funny. Good night, Debe. Walal, winners do it now. Dr. Monroe, huzzah. I agree. Going to wake up with you, Mon. Thank you very much, Dookie. Walal, good night. Guys, this turned out to be very motivational. I feel really good. I'm reinvigorated to keep things going. You guys all helped me to feel better about some of the difficulties I'm going through. I hope we all make you feel better about some of the things you're going through. You're not alone. God loves you. I love you. Life is going to get better for all of us. Stay strong. Later, skater. Night world. And Nelson says, my life is getting better. Remember I told you last week I didn't have a job. I went to the interview, been work since Nelson, congratulations. I'm really proud of you. I'm really happy to hear that. And guys, have a wonderful night. Thanks for being a part of my channel. Thanks for being a part of my life. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, night, wherever you are. I am Monroe Mann, YouTube #1 live streamer, and catch you later. Thanks so much, Good Cat. I shall continue carrying the light. And Dookie Eater, if you say anything like that again, you will be banned from this channel. Bad, bad. Miss T, have a good night. Nelson Duenas, God bless you too. Catch you guys next time. Bye.